Hi class, today we are on Saxon Book 4, Lesson 40. Today's lesson is on capacity. So the first thing I have to share with you today is a story about the kingdom of G. Here's my kingdom of G. Inside the kingdom of G, there were 4 queens. So we have queen number 1, queen number 2, queen number 3, and queen number 4. Each queen had a prince and a princess. And you know what? I need to make those a little bit bigger. And each prince and princess had 2 chickens. Okay, so this story about the kingdom of G can help you remember our units of measurement when we're talking about capacity. My big G here represents a gallon. Inside each gallon, we have 4 queens or 4 quarts. Inside each quart, we have a prince and a princess or 2 pints. And inside each pint, we have 2 chickens or 2 cups. So what I would like you to do for your reference is pause the video right now and copy this big Kingdom of G picture into your notebook. You can do it in your math dictionary or just in your math notebook or on a piece of paper that you want to attach to your math notebook so that you have it for reference. You can use this picture to remember that inside 1 gallon, we have 4 quarts. Inside 1 gallon, we have 8 pints. There's 8 P's in here. Inside 1 gallon, we have 16 cups. There are 16 C's in this gallon. And this picture will help you to make conversions. So go ahead, pause the video, draw the picture, and then when you come back, we're going to do a couple questions together. Okay, I'm going to sit over here so that you guys can continue to see the board behind me. And I want to show you some measurements. So I have some containers of rice here. My hands are a little bit full. This is 1 cup. It's full of rice. I could pour 2 of these into this container, which holds a pint, 2 cups. So if I would pour 1 cup into here, it'd fill it up to about that line, and then the second one that I poured in would fill it up to the top. Okay? This is a quart. I can pour 2 pints into a quart. 1 pint would fill it up to about here. The second pint would fill it to the top. If instead I use the cup container, it would take 4 of these to fill up my quart container. And finally, I have the big bad boy here, a gallon full of rice. So a gallon is 4 quarts, the first quart, the second quart, the third quart, the fourth quart. It would take 16 cups to fill up this gallon if I were to dump it out and pour it in 1 cup at a time. So knowing all of that, we have an activity in the book where we're going to make some conversions. How many cups of liquid equal 1 pint? Well, look at my kingdom of G back here. How many chickens are inside each prince and princess? 2. It takes 2 cups to equal 1 pint. How many pints of liquid equal a quart? How many pints are inside my Q's up there? Again, 2. 2 pints equal a quart. How many quarts of liquid equal a half gallon? They try to trick you a little bit there. So this is a whole gallon, and it takes 4 quarts. So how many quarts would be in 1/2 of a gallon? Again, the answer is 2. Sometimes we sell milk in half-gallon containers. How many half gallons equal a gallon? Well, a half gallon is a fraction with 2 equal parts. So it takes 2 half gallons to equal 1 gallon. How many quarters equal a dollar? We're flipping over to money here. There are 4 quarters in a dollar. And how many quarts equal a gallon? Again, there's 4. You hear that quarter, quart. So Q-U-A-R, that's a root word for 4. Like quad is also 4. All right. The last thing that I want you to know with this is they may also talk about ounces. OZ is our abbreviation for ounces. And there are 16 ounces. You know what? I said that wrong. There are 8 ounces. There's 16 ounces in a pound, but that's not actually what we're talking about right now. There are 8 ounces in 1 cup. Okay? I will write the 16 ounces in a pound just because that is good information. LB is the abbreviation for pound. Okay, 16 ounces in a pound and 8 ounces in 1 cup. All right, so the last thing that they want to talk about is that liquids can also be measured in liters. Have you ever gotten a 2 liter of soda at the store? You know what that looks like? How much it holds approximately? So that's 2 liters. 1 liters, if you get those at the store, they're shaped much the same way, but they're just slightly smaller. So how does a liter compare to these units of measurement? Well, a full liter container is more than a quart. So the quart is going to hold slightly less, and right here we have a quart. A liter is just slightly more than this. However, a 2 liter container is going to be less than a gallon because remember, a gallon holds 4 quarts. So 4 of these is equal to a gallon, whereas a 2 liter container is only 2 liters, and a liter is only slightly larger than this. Now, how would a liter compare to a half gallon? A half gallon is 2 quarts. So a 2 liter bottle of soda is going to be slightly bigger than 2 quarts because 1 liter of soda is slightly more than 1 quart. How many liters might it take to fill up a gallon container? So if I had my gallon here and I wanted to pour liters into it, remember 1 liter, slightly larger than a quart, but not very much larger. So it's actually going to take 4 liters. We'll have some left over, but it would take 4 liters to fill up my gallon. 3 liters won't quite cut it. All right, so what we need to know with metric measurements, just like centimeters, millimeters, meters, metric all works off of tens. So we have a liter, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. And we write ml for that. A milliliter is just a drop. We measure medicine, liquid medicine, in milliliters. Oftentimes you take 5 milliliters of a type of medicine, like children's ibuprofen or Tylenol or something. So milliliters are teeny tiny. They're just drops. It takes 1,000 of them to fill up a liter, which is slightly bigger than this quart. All right, so we measure with decimals. If I have 1 gallon, it is equal to 3 7/78 of a liter. We'll do a capital L for liter there. 1 gallon is equal to 3 7/78. See my decimal point here? So how many milliliters might that be? Well, each of these is made up of 1,000. So 1 gallon notice how my numbers are the same here, 378, 378. But since I multiplied it times 1,000, my decimal point just got moved a little bit. We're going to talk more about how we do that in later lessons. But notice that 1 gallon, this bad boy right here, is made up of 3,780 milliliters, and a milliliter is a drop. So if you were going to put water in my gallon container 1 drop at a time, you would have to do 3,780 drops. It's a lot of drops. I'd rather measure by the gallon or by the cup, depending on how much I have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this lesson. You are going to get more practice with this lesson as you do your written practice. There'll be some problems where it will ask you to make these conversions. So I'm not so concerned about the metric system at the moment. We will have future lessons where we talk more about the metric system. The big thing that I want you to remember from today is my kingdom of G and all of the parts. The gallon, the quarts, the pints, the cups, and how many of them sit inside of each one. Use this picture that you drew as you answer those questions to try to figure out those conversions. Your written practice begins on page 253. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.